Hi dear friends, a very good evening to one and all. Once again, welcome back to a transfer class. This is an initiative by TechU faculty with the motto of Let's Crack the Gate. Myself, Muhammad Rafi, one among the TechU faculty from Assam Engineering College. I hope you guys are having good time at home. Today, this will be the conclusion of radiation mode of heat transfer. We have already discussed conduction mode of heat transfer. I have shared that PDF of the PPT in the Telegram channel, and also I will be sharing radiation mode of transfer PPT in the Telegram channel. So like you know, this is an initiative by Technic faculty, that is Technical Education Quality Improvement Program, which was a World Bank funded project and managed by the NPIU, National Project Implementation Unit, under MHRD, Government of India. So we have been associated with the different state government college across the country. I am from Assam Engineering College, and we are regularly taking the our classes in the parent college. And as you know, this is a collective initiative from the tech faculty from different parts of the country. So the remaining portion of heat transfer, that is a convection mode of heat transfer as well as a heat exchanger, will be taken by another faculty, that is Chandrapal sir. Okay, so I personally was really interested and I was really enjoying our session while our talk discussion on conduction as well as the radiation mode of heat transfer. And definitely I will be coming up with the other session like some other subject in future, and also I will be in touch with you related to any query related to this topic, and also we will be conducting some quizzes as well as some discussion or revision related to the topic. So the techie faculty, there are many well qualified, highly educated people and will experienced faculty, and we are working remotely from different parts of the country. So as a matter of the fact, we will be sharing the subject, we will be sharing the topic so that you guys will be benefited. Okay, so please stick with the strategies, stick with the classes by Chandrapal sir in the upcoming session, and I am going to wind up radiation part in today's lecture. So today's lecture is the most important lecture related to the radiation part, and in the previous lectures, we were discussing some theory, some governing law, some definition, as well as the view factor. So, exam point of view, in GATE exam point of view, mainly you just focus on the view factor as well as today's lecture. I am going to discuss very important questions related to the GATE in previous year questions from GATE as well as engineering service in today's lecture. So once again, thank you very much for watching this video and also for your constructive opinion, and also thank you for the techie faculty who all are working putting a lot of effort to provide you quality content, who all are taking care of the your queries in the Telegram group, as well as people are getting a lot of personal query, and it was in the easy way for me also to prepare the course content and deliver the lectures on time. There was a lot of technical problem, like my laptop got some problem in between, my internet was facing some problem because of the heavy rain in Kerala. So apart from all the challenges, you may be also facing a lot of troubles while preparing, while watching this video. You may be managing with your regular classes, but guys, this is all about our perseverance, this is all about our collective effort, how much you are dedicated. And ये हिंदी में यही से बोलता है ना, मतलब मेहनत का फल मीठा है. सो दैट इज आई कैन से 100% श्योर, मेहनत का फल मीठा होता है. ठीक है. सो गाइस, व्हाट एवर challenges you are facing, don't give up, don't give up, never ever. Okay, please focus, please stick with your plan. I also personally was going through a lot of trouble while I was preparing the course content, as well as while I was preparing for the competitive exam like GATE and all. But today, once I am looking back, I can assure you, whoever prepared very well, prepared sincerely, prepared dedicatedly, and challenge yourself, always challenge yourself, don't give up. Okay, challenge yourself in the sense, I also was preparing a lot of, you may be also doing the same thing, preparing some timetable for study. You will prepare like, from today I will be studying for the 16 hour, or prepare I will be studying for at least 8 hour in a day. I will be staying away from the social media, whether it is Instagram, whether it is Facebook, whether it is any other social media, and you will be sacrificing everything with the for a single goal, that is cracking a competitive exam or getting into campus recruitment. But that will give you some fruitful result, that is 100% sure. If you are sincere, if you are dedicated, definitely you are going to get the result out of it. Okay, so guys, once again and again and again and again, I wanted to remind you, prepare equation book, practice as many problem, and make mistake, don't worry, that is not a problem. Even if you make a mistake, that doesn't matter, but you have the open mind approach to correct yourself. Okay, so we as a, I can, in my part, I can assure you, I will be very happy to help you to achieve your career goals. So keep in touch with me, and together keep in touch with the techie faculty with this initiative. And again, please share with your friends regarding, please inform about this YouTube channel. And also we are conducting gate demo quizzes and mock tests, everything are coming in line with the, we are with the proper plan for this initiative. So please join the Telegram group and also spread this word to everyone, and I wish very all the very best to everyone. So let's move on to the course content. So here we have been started with the radiation mode of heat transfer, and we have discussed in the first lecture what is the relevance of radiation heat transfer in our day-to-day life, whether even this pandemic time, whether it is the usage of an infrared thermometer or the greenhouse or the microwave oven. Many of the occasion radiation heat transfer is happening in our day-to-day life, and as an engineering student we are just trying to learn the basic fundamentals of this process. Okay, so now in today's lecture, we are going to talk about the radiation technique. So what is a radiation technique? It is nothing but finding out the why we were talking about the governing laws or the view factor, everything with the, it was with a single motto of finding out the radiation heat transfer, because I told you this whole subject radiation heat, the heat transfer subject was mainly focusing on finding out the how much heat transfer taking place within the system or the temperature profile. In the conduction, we have already done this process. So in radiation, in today's lecture, we are going to find out how to calculate the total heat exchange between the two or three surfaces. Okay. So these surfaces in our day-to-day life, it can be of different character, maybe of finite length, or maybe infinite, or maybe opaque, or maybe diffusive in nature, or maybe gray surface. So what is diffusive, what is opaque, what is gray surface? This thing we have already discussed in the previous lecture. That is why in the first two lecture I was purely talking theory, and the last third lecture also it was radiation view factor. Okay, in today's lecture is the conclusion of all this discussion. Okay, so please watch, stick with me, and let's try to explore this area. So in order to understand this further, we have to, you should have a little more idea about two new terminology, that is irradiation and radiosity. So what is irradiation? So for any surface, whether it is opaque, infinite, or diffusive or gray in nature, it will have two types of radiation. One part will be inciding on the surface, and or maybe some radiation is coming towards the surface, some radiation will be leaving the surface. There will be only two types of radiation. Some are coming, some are going. Right now, the coming part, whatever incident, the radiant in coming towards the surface is called irradiation. That is the thermal radiation energy incident upon a surface per unit area is called irradiation. So what will be radiosity? Just the opposite part. That means the radiation which is leaving the surface. You can say this will be the radiosity. That is radiation leaving a surface is called radiosity. Radiation incident on upon a surface is called irradiation. How to remember? Irradiation will be starting with the I. Right now, what are the components of radiation leaving any surface? You can see some part will be the original emission because of the non-zero temperature, because of many other scenario, the radiation will be emitted, that we have already discussed, that is based on the micro electromagnetic wave nature. Okay, so the radiation will be emitted, as well as some portion of the radiation falling on the surface will be reflected back to the surface, back. So that is also will be included in the radiosity. Okay, so the total thermal radiation leaving the surface, whether it is a radiation emitted from the surface or the reflected, collectively we will call it as the radiosity. Now, having said all those things, now we are going to explore what is the meaning of irradiation and radiosity. Okay. Now, guys, for any opaque surface, for a non-black surface, this will be the real scenario. For any surface, some part of the radiation will be incidenting or coming towards the surface, and some part of the radiation will be leaving away the surface. So, in general, you can see the radiosity J will be a summation of the emitted energy plus reflected energy. Reflected part of incident energy. Okay, are you able to follow? The radiosity in general will be a combination of incident, the whatever portion of reflected plus radiation emitted from the surface. So emitted surface we already know from Stefan Boltzmann law or the emissivity concept. You can see in epsilon times EB, because EB is the total emissive power of a black body. So emissivity is the ratio of emissive power of a black body, non-black body to the black body. So the for a real case, which is most of the surface will not be a black body. So the total emitted energy will be epsilon times the emitted by a black body. Okay. Now reflected part. What will be the reflected part? We already know. Rho is the reflectivity. Reflectivity is the ratio of total incident energy to the reflected, or the reflected energy to the incident energy. So you can see the total reflected part of the incident energy, you can see rho into G. Right? Now let's recall some theory what we have studied in the previous classes. So here you can see under this case, for any surface, rho plus alpha plus tau equal to what? 1, that we have already studied. So here under this scenario, here it is already mentioned, it is a opaque surface. Why we are concerned about the opaque is that we just wanted to, it is a non-transparent, radiation is not going across the surface. It may be absorbed, it may be reflected. Okay, so now for opaque surface, tau will be equal to what? Yeah, there is no value, it is equal to 0. So I can write the raw value, reflectivity is equal to 1 minus absorptivity, that is alpha. Now from Kirchhoff law, so in the previous class we have already discussed the Kirchhoff law. What is Kirchhoff Kirchhoff's law, which states that alpha absorptivity equal to emissivity for any surface. So here you can see I can write the absorptivity equal to 1 minus epsilon. So if I am applying all this concept into this equation, I can say radiosity for any surface can be written as epsilon into EB plus 1 minus epsilon into G. So this is a very important expression, very important equation in our radiation technique concept. For any surface, the radiosity will be a summation of rho epsilon EB plus 1 minus epsilon into G. Okay, so for any surface, the irradiation as well as the emission rate will be different. So the radiosity also will be different, and depends on the emissivity value, different amount of radiation will be emitted. That is why in the same environment, even though the surface having the same temperature, but there will be different radiation heat exchanging between different purpose, different surfaces. Okay, so this is the main equation. So from this equation I can also deduce the expression from the for the irradiation. So here I can see J equal to G equal to J minus epsilon EB divided by 1 minus epsilon. This is also an important expression because it depends on the scenario. You have to use this expression to find out the radiation, radiosity as well as the irradiation. Okay, so having said this, let's move on to solve a next question. So guys, like I repeat in every classes, practicing is the key to the subject as well as preparing the equation book. So whatever discussed in the previous slide will be added to your equation book. Okay, so by knowing the expression, let's try to solve this equation question for an opaque plane. The irradiation, radiosity and emissive power, this is already given. EB equal to 10, irradiation, okay, irradiation is the G value that is given as 20, and radiosity is the J value equal to 12. Now the question is, what is emissivity? So I hope we just derived that J equal to epsilon into EB plus 1 minus epsilon into G. So if you know this equation, it was a single line expression, right? So J equal to 12 equal to epsilon into G equal to 10 plus 1 minus epsilon into 20. So if I just solve it, 12 equal to 10, 20, so 8 by 10, right? Epsilon, you can see epsilon equal to 8 by 10 or 0.8. Okay, so guys, like I say, in every for any problem solving, every student will have different approach, right? So this is very important for any competitive exam, for any gate exam. Like I said, suppose I am right now in Kerala, right, and I will be leaving to Guwahati in a very few days. So in order to reach from Kerala to Guwahati, there are different way. Either I can go for through Bangalore, or maybe through Mumbai, or maybe through Delhi. So for different students will have different approach. The ultimate objective is that you have to reach from Kerala to Guwahati on time. Okay, so some student may have solved this problem in a different way, but if you started from this equation and you got the right answer, then your purpose is fulfilled. Okay, your mission is accomplished. So this is all about in any competitive exam. Different student will have different way of approach, different perspective towards different question. So in my solution also, if you find that is difficult and you find some other way is more easy, convenient, then you just follow that way. So ultimately the basic concepts are same. This is not only for engineering, not only for heat transfer, it is common for most of the subjects, because in application level subject we are starting with some starting point and you will be ending with a different end point. So in between which way we have to follow, that is up to your point of view. Okay, so let's move on to discussing a little more theory related to the content. So here, like I said, the radiation technique is all about finding out a heat exchanger between the different surfaces. So now one by one, like we have done in conduction part also, we will just split the topic in a simple topic. So here now I am just talking about radiation heat transfer between a surface with its surrounding. I am not talking about any other surface, or I am not talking about any other parameter. I am just simply imagine a radiation a surface is there which is having some non-zero temperature. So definitely it will be trying to emit radiation, and also some radiation will be falling from the surrounding towards the surface. So ultimately what is the total radiation heat exchange between any particular surface and its surrounding, that is what we are going to discuss. So here you can see there is a surface having a temperature, there is a surface there having a non-zero temperature. So for any surface, what will be the scenario? Some portion of radiation will be incident on the surface and some portion of the radiation will be leaving the surface. So ultimately what will be the Q net? What will be the net heat transfer happening on a particular surface with its surrounding will be equal to what? Just a difference of whatever leaving into whatever coming. Even the irradiosity and radiation and radiosity was per unit area. So you have to multiply with the area in order to get the total heat transfer rate. So this will be the total heat transfer rate. So we already know what is the J value. This expression, if I just change into our convenient way, so if I can write EB plus 1 minus epsilon into G minus G. This will be the expression. So if I am just elaborate it, Q net equal to, this can be written as epsilon into EB minus G, epsilon into EB minus G, right? This will be the expression. So if I am just putting the expression for G, that in the previous slide I just discussed what is the G value. G is J minus epsilon EB divided by 1 minus epsilon. So if I just recall those concept, G equal to 1 minus J minus epsilon EB divided by 1 minus epsilon. So if I am using this concept, I will end up with an expression epsilon into ये क्या आएगा EB minus EB into epsilon minus J plus epsilon into EB divided by 1 minus epsilon, right? So इसको मैं सोल्व करेगा तो क्या आएगा EB minus J divided by 1 minus epsilon divided by epsilon A. This will be the final expression. So ultimately you can say for any surface, for this surface, it will have a surface resistance. If I am just drawing the equivalent thermal circuit, that is, it is emitting some radiation, and from that surface the total radiation is leaving. So it will be a combination of the emitted surface, emitted radiation, as well as the emitter radiation, as well as the reflected part. So okay, so basically this will be the expression EB minus J divided by 1 minus epsilon by EA. So if you just compare with the normal electric circuit, there is a potential difference of high potential and low potential, and in between there is a resistance. So here you can call this resistance as a surface resistance. That means depends on the emissivity and the surface area, every surface will have some surface resistance. Okay, so always remember the expression for the surface resistance, that is 1 minus epsilon divided by A times epsilon. Okay, now this is all about the radiation happening on a particular surface. I am not considering its other surface or any other matter. I am just talking about a single radiation heat exchanging by a single surface. Now let's talk about what will happen in case of a two surface. So similarly, you can see there are two surfaces. So guys, you can see here for two surfaces having some temperature, maybe T1 and T2. So all these two surfaces will be exchanging heat between them. Now I am just going to find out what is the net heat transfer between two surfaces. So in order to understand, in order to visualize this thing, what you have to do, we have already discussed this thing while we were discussing the view factor. What is happening for any radiating surface? Some portion, suppose I am talking about this case, some portion like this surface will be radiating in different direction. What is this quantity, total quantity? How you will calculate? If J1 is the total irradiation or the radiosity of the particular surface, that will be per unit area. So this will be the total radiation leaving any surface, A1 into J1. So out of this A1 into J1, only some portion will be hitting on the surface 2. What will be that portion is called, you can say A1 J1 is the total, but F12, that is F12 is the fraction, that is the total radiation leaving 1 hitting 2. So ultimately you can see, even though A1 J1 is emitted from any surface, F12 into A1 J1 will be the radiation hitting on the surface number 2. So similarly, if I am just apply the same concept for the another surface, that is 2, that will also will be emitting radiation. What will be the total radiation emitted from any surface? That will be A2 into J2, because J2 is the total radiation leaving per unit area. So A2 into J2, area into J2 will be the total radiation leaving the surface number 2. But out of this portion, only some portion will be hitting on the surface number 1. Why? Because you can just imagine, just switch on a light. You just switch on a light. So the visible light which is leaving any surface, some part will be hitting on the wall, some part will be hitting on the other wall, some part will be hitting on the other object in the room. So it will be splitted, it will be distributed among the other subject. We have already thoroughly discussed about the summation rule, reciprocity, all those things, right? Now I am not going to talk about all those things. Just tell me how much will be hitting on the surface number 1, leaving surface 2. It, you can easily find, it will be F21 into total radiation, that is A2 into J2. So this is the main radiation interaction between the two surfaces. So if you are concerned about the finding on the total net heat transfer, Q net between 1 and 2, what will be that value? Here you can easily say it will be a summation difference of this thing. Suppose T1 is greater than T2. If T1 is greater than T2, I am just finding telling the net heat transfer will be J1 A1 F12 minus J2 A2 F21. This is the total heat transfer between the surface 1 and 2 only. If there was another surface, then other parameters also will be coming into picture. So like I said, हम धीरे धीरे ये सीख रहे हैं, धीरे धीरे इसका जो प्रोसेस आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए, अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए ट्राई कर रहा है, ठीक है. तो अभी हम what is this expression? If we already know A1 F12 equal to A2 F21, what is this is called? Yeah, our reciprocity theorem. व्यू फैक्टर का जो रेसिप्रोसिटी बोलते हैं हम, we have discussed in the previous class. If you did not watch that video, please watch in this playlist, because view factor is very important in case of exam point of view, in GATE or any other state level competitive exam, or even some state exam, like suppose in Assam Engineering College, in order to get the MTech admission, we conduct some state level exam. Other than the GATE exam, we have some other admission exam. So when if I get that opportunity to set the question paper, definitely I always include some question from the view factor, because view factor rather than the radiation heat transfer concept, view factor gives some other assess some other skills as well, your problem solving skill. Okay, so for GATE exam point of view, it is not only checking your technical idea, it also checking your problem solving skill, your accuracy, many other parameters. This thing regularly we have been discussing in the previous lectures. So view factor is such kind of a topic. There are, rather than radiation heat transfer concept, some logical concepts also check. So there is a high chance questions from that topic will be asked in any competitive exam. So definitely A1 F12 equal to A2 F21 from the reciprocity concept. So here you can say J1 minus J2 divided by 1 by A1 F12 will be the net heat transfer between the two surfaces, right? So this is the expression for the net heat transfer between the two surfaces. Okay, so from the just like the previous case, you can say the equivalent thermal circuit will be J1 to J2. I am not concerned about what is happening within the surface. I'm just concerned about the heat exchanging between the two surfaces. Okay, that is why I'm just concerned about the whatever leaving from the surface and whatever leaving the surface too. Okay, and in between there is some space resistance. Here also you can see if two surfaces are parallel, then that will improve the heat transfer rate. But if it is not parallel, suppose just like this or some inclination, definitely this value f12 will be different because it is a geometrical parameter. So that will definitely will have a great impact on the radiation heat exchanger, right? You can just imagine for any view factor plays a major role in the space resistance. Okay, so let's move on to the next content, that is ultimately by knowing what is happening on any surface, what is happening between two surfaces, the net heat transfer, for that is a real scenario. For a real scenario you can see here, for any radiating surface it will look like this. What is the scenario? The surface is emitting some radiation, okay, and out of this emission some part is incident on the radiation surface and will be reflected. So basically emission taking place, then radiosity, the total radiation leaving any particular surface and hitting on the another surface. So ultimately if you just visualize how a radiation is moving from one point to another, you can see it is leaving from that black body or the ultimate from any surface, and it will have to overcome the surface resistance, then it will have to overcome the space resistance, again it will have to overcome the surface resistance. So it is a collective process. So if you can just visualize the equivalent thermal circuit from one point to J1, it will have to overcome the surface resistance, then what will happen, it will have to overcome the space resistance, again surface resistance. So this is the net thermal circuit for any radiation between the two surfaces. Now if you know the thermal radiation like we have discussed in the conduction part, the things are very easy. You just, in order to find out the total net heat transfer, this will be just potential difference divided by the thermal resistance. So here the thermal resistance, it is in series connection. If you just take the summation, this will be the scenario. So guys, this is a very important expression for a radiation heat exchanger, and now we are going to talk about the application or the different cases related to this radiation technique. Okay, now this radiation network, how we, for what if radiation heat transfer between two infinite large parallel plate, that is in case of a, just imagine two parallel plates which are placed parallelly and having an infinite length. So what are the uh, speciality in this case is that these two surfaces have the same surface area, a1 a2 is equal to area. Now we already know this expression, we already know the expression for a net heat transfer between two surfaces is like this, but the here only difference is that a1 equal to a2 equal to a, and another thing is that what is f12, f12 whatever radiation leaving surface 1 will be hitting on surface 2 because it is an infinite parallel plate. So for an infinite parallel plate, f12 will be equal to 1, or you can say f21, whatever radiation leaving 2 hitting on 1 also will be equal to 1 only. So guys, this will, if you apply these two concepts, the net heat transfer 1 to 2 for parallel plate, what will be the expression? Sigma into T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4, that is EB1 minus EB2 divided by 1 minus epsilon 1 divided by A1, I am just A epsilon 1 plus 1 by A plus 1 by A epsilon 2 into 1 minus epsilon 2. So if I just elaborate on those things, you can see sigma A T1 to the power 4 minus T to the power 4 divided by 1 by epsilon 1 minus epsilon by epsilon, that is equal to 1 plus 1. minus 1 plus 1 is getting cancelled, so the expression will be coming out to be this way. This is a very important expression in our competitive exam point of view, so everybody please remember this thing. This is the expression sigma a t1 to the power 4 minus t2 to the power 4 divided by 1 by epsilon 1 plus 1 by epsilon 2 minus 1. Okay, so this is in case of a parallel plate. What if in case of a parallel cylinder? So this is also a familiar similar scenario. Only thing is you just like in the previous case, we already know the expression, that is for any parallel plates or for any two surfaces, this is equation. So now let me see what is a1, what is a2, and what is F12. So here in case of parallel concentric cylinder, F12 equal to what? 1, but because whatever radiation is leaving surface 1 will be hitting surface 2 only, that is not for, going anywhere, right? Similarly, whatever radiation leaving surface 2 will be hitting on surface number 1. So here from the diagram you can see A1 is some value which is not equal to A2. In the previous case A1 was equal to A2, right? For a parallel plate A1 equal to A2. Here you can see A1 is not equal to A2. It will have some different value. So if I am just applying this thing in this expression, Q net between 1 2 will be equal to again sigma into T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4 divided by 1 minus 1 by a1 epsilon 1. I'm just replacing this thing, minus 1 by a1 plus 1 by a1, because f12 equal to 1, right? F12 equal to 1, so plus a1 plus 1 by a2 into epsilon 2 minus 1 by a2. So this is a net heat transfer rate. If I am just splitting this into T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4 divided by, how I can write this thing? For this case I can write 1 by A1 epsilon 1 plus 1 by A2 epsilon 2 minus 1 by A2. So some people they will rewrite this thing in a different way, that is sigma into A1 into T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4. So if I am just multiplying A1 denominator and numerator, I can say 1 by epsilon 1. But that is not necessary, that is up to you only. If you are interested you can do that way, otherwise you can just keep it as A1 by A2 common and 1 by epsilon 2 minus 1. So this is the general expression for a radiation heat transfer between two concentric long cylinder. Okay, so these all are the important expression related to the topic. Let's move on to the another case. So what will be in case of a radiation heat exchanger between a small body lies inside a large enclosure? Can you just recall any example for this? Just imagine you are sitting in a room and you kept a small bulb within that room. So considering like I said in the fin analysis, the fin of infinite long. So in engineering aspect, infinite is sometimes for you it will be finite. Did you get my point? मतलब अगर वो situation के हिसाब से things will be infinite or finite. So in case of a bulb sitting placed inside a large room, compared to the surface area of that bulb, the whole area is very high. So just visualize a scenario where a large enclosure and I kept a small body. For example, you can say there are many occasions which will happen like this. So what will happen to our expression for the radiation heat exchanger? So here, what is the scenario? Here only difference is that F12 will be equal to 1. Definitely whatever radiation leaving 1 will be hitting on 2 only, right? So F12 equal to 1, there is no doubt about it. So Q net, if I am just writing, and 1 by A2, 1 by A2 what will be, that will be a very high value. 1 by A2 because A2 is much greater than A1. So this 1 by much greater the value, so you can term it as equal to 0. Okay, so ultimately sigma t1 to the power 4 minus t2 to the power 4 divided by this expression is coming out to be 1 by a1 epsilon 1 minus 1 plus 1 because this is 1 by a1, so minus 1 by a1 plus 1 by a1. So this is going to get cancelled. So significantly you can see a1 epsilon 1 into t1 to the power 4 minus t to the power 4. So this is an expression for any body which is kept inside a large enclosure. So it is normal heat transfer equation sigma a into t1 to the power 4 minus t2 to the power 4. Okay, so this is all about the different applications of radiation network. Now let's talk about a very important topic that is called a radiation shield. So what is a radiation shield? This is also very important in the sense in our day-to-day life. Sometimes, like I said, in case of a critical radius of insulation as well as the applications of the extended surface or fin, we were concerned about the two purpose. One is sometimes we have to enhance the radiation, enhance the heat transfer. Sometimes we have to suppress the heat transfer. So radiation shield is a technique to reduce the heat transfer between two surfaces. So we already know radiation taking place whenever there is a non-zero temperature. So we cannot do anything on that. Only thing we can try to reduce the heat exchange between the surface. So the surface is bound to emit the radiation in different direction. So in order to protect our device, in order to reduce the heat transfer between the surfaces, this is a technique that is called a radiation shield. So in radiation shield, this is nothing but I am just introducing a new component, a new thin body having some emissivity on both sides epsilon 3 in between the surfaces. So initially surface 1 and 2 was exchanging heat. Now I am just going to apply the radiation technique and just going to see how much will be the radiation heat transfer between the surface 1 and 2 with including the radiation shield. So for this case, you just imagine how this heat transfer taking place. How this heat transfer taking place, the heat is leaving the first surface, right? So while it is leaving, first of all it will have to overcome the surface resistance of the first surface. Then it is between the space between the radiation shield and the first surface, so there will be some space resistance. Once it is approaching toward the radiation shield, it will have to overcome the surface resistance of the radiation shield. Again across this surface, again it will have to overcome the surface resistance. Then there will be a space resistance, again a surface resistance, then only the heat will be reaching on the surface number 2. So if you just recall the concept, what is happening, eb1 is the if I am just drawing the radiation network. So eb1 from this surface resistance, that will be 1 minus epsilon divided by a1 epsilon 1, right? Then it is from this surface it is reached to the arbitrary surface. From this it will be overcoming the space resistance. What is the space resistance between surface 1 and 3? That will be 1 by a1 into f13. That thing we have already discussed, right? Now towards this surface, again it will have to overcome a surface resistance on the surface number 3. Now what will be that value? It will be 1 minus epsilon 3 divided by a3 into epsilon 3, right? So now this is reaching on this point. Now it have to move away from the radiation shield. So again it will have to overcome another surface resistance on the other surface, other side. It will also will be the same 1 minus epsilon 3 a3 into epsilon 3. Now once it is overcome that surface resistance, it has to overcome the space resistance between this 2 and 3 surface. So this will be 1 by A2 into F23 or A3 into A3 into F32, that doesn't matter. Now once it is overcome that space resistance, again it will have to overcome what? Yes, the surface resistance on the second surface. So how many it will be reaching here, and this value will be 1 minus epsilon 2 divided by A2 into epsilon 2. So guys, I hope you guys got how I was proceeding. So this is nothing but I am just recalling whatever we have studied in the previous slide. Okay, we already defined what is a surface resistance, what is a space resistance. So radiation within the surface, within the space are experiencing some resistance. That is quite natural because the surface or the space is contaminated, or it is having a lot of component. So that is because of the geometric how this geometric shape or depends on the surface, like the emissivity of the particular surface, it will have different values of surface resistance as well as the space resistance. So while you just observing the heat transfer between the two surface, you just try to visualize the radiation network and try to identify different resistance. Once you have done this much, then the rest of the things are very easy. The Q net with the shield, I can say the Q network with the shield is how much? Now it will be EB1 minus EB2 divided by R thermal total resistance. So you can see sigma into T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4 divided by just summation of this thing. So if I am just writing 1 minus epsilon divided by A1 epsilon 1 plus 1 by 8 A1 F13 plus 1 minus epsilon 3 divided by, it look a bit lengthy, but guys, if you just pay attention on this how I was arriving to this conclusion, it is very easy. There is no any complicated concept. Okay, so the topic itself is easy, but it look a bit lengthy, but that's okay. All topic may not be similar, right? So here under this scenario, if I am just applying a little more concept to this case, suppose in this infinite long case, a1 equal to a2 equal to a3 equal to a, because all are same area. Okay, similarly you can say the f13 equal to f what is that, f23 equal to 1, because all are infinitely parallel, infinite parallel place. So in this scenario you can say uh, the q net, if I am just substitute a1 a2 equal to a and f13 f13 f23 equal to 1, this expression will be reduced as t1 to the power 4 minus t2 to the power 4 divided by 1 by epsilon 1 plus 2 by epsilon 3 plus 1 by epsilon 2 minus 2. So this is watt per meter square. Okay, so this is q net divided by a, you can say. So this is a very important equation in case of a radiation with the radiation shield. That is, if I am introducing any radiation shield with an emissivity epsilon 3, this will be the q net per unit area. Okay, now you just we just recall what was the expression in case of a radiation with shield. Q net per A without shield. What was the expression? I will discuss in the next slide. So let's move on. So here let's recall some special cases. Uh, First case I am just recalling, if all surface have the same emissivity, if all surface have the same emissivity. So in this case, there were three emissivity: epsilon 1, epsilon 2, and epsilon 3 are equal to epsilon. So what if in this scenario, what will be Q with shield? Q per with shield per unit area, I can write sigma into T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4 divided by, what was the expression, 1 by epsilon 1. So 1 by epsilon plus 2 by epsilon 3, so you can see 2 by epsilon plus 1 by epsilon 2, so you can see 1 by epsilon minus 2. So if I just reduce the T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4 divided by 2 plus 3 4 4 by epsilon minus 2. So I can say uh, this can be written as 4 by epsilon minus 2, 4 by epsilon minus 2, or I will be just T1 minus T2 to the power 4 divided by 2 times 2 by epsilon minus 1. Okay, now what about Q without shield per unit area? So this thing we have already discussed, sigma into T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4 divided by 1 by epsilon 1 plus 1 by epsilon 2. Here epsilon 1 equal to epsilon 2 equal to epsilon. So 1 by minus 1. So in this case you can say this will be coming out to be sigma into T1 minus T2 to the power 4 divided by 2 by epsilon minus 1. So this thing you can say Q with shield, right? Q with shield, if I am divided by 2, right? So here you can see Q without shield and Q with the shield. Here you can see Q by A with the shield. Q by A with one shield. How many shield we have introduced? Only one shield. Q by A with one shield was coming out to be 1 by 2 times Q by A without any shield. So from this conclusion you can say in general, if there are if there are n shield, then if there are n shield you can say this is a general expression and it is very important. Q by A with n shield equal to 1 by n plus 1. Q by A without shield. This is a very important expression in this topic, and everybody please remember, in order to find out the effect of radiation shield, this is the effect. And what is the another effect that is also very important? You just imagine by including each shield. So guys, like I said, by introducing a new radiation shield, what is happening? That is what we have shown. For each shield kept between the surface, it will bring three additional resistance. What are the three additional resistance? Out of the three, two will be surface resistance and another will be the space resistance. So in general, this is a common question in multiple choice questions, that by introducing a single shield, what is the total number of surface resistance added, or what is the total resistance added? Okay, so guys, please remember this expression, that is by adding each time whenever you are introducing a single shield, it will be adding 2 into 1 plus 2, that is 1 plus 1, that is total. So if I am adding a n number of shield, then there will be 2 times n plus 1 surface resistance, as well as n plus 1 space resistance. Okay, so this thing it is quite evident from this scenario also. If you just uh, in this scenario you can see by adding a single shield how many new came into picture. Yeah, there are how many total resistance? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Out of this, how many space resistance are there? There are two space resistance, that is n plus 1. How many surface resistance are there? There are 1 2 3 4, that is 2 into n plus 1, that is 2 into 1 plus 1, that is 2 into 2, that is 4. So this is very important to remember this expression. Okay, so let's try to solve a couple of previous year questions from the radiation shield or radiation network analysis. So guys, like I said in, like I remind you in every classes, every problem solving session, please go through, please pause this video, or please go through this question and try to solve yourself. If you are finding any problem while you are getting any answer, please let me know in the comment section so that I can correct you. Anyway, let's try to solve this question. So this is in guys, please believe me, all the questions in radiation heat transfer are mostly straightforward. There is no much confusion, there is no much twist in the question. So please focus on this topic in a very sincere way. Please practice as many questions, please prepare your equation book so that you will not miss any question from this topic. This question will be quite it will be a little unfamiliar if you don't practice regularly. Okay, but if you practice regularly this will be very easy for you. So let's try to solve this question. So this is a question saying there are two large parallel plates having a 10 gap between them are maintained at a temperature, and emissivity value is given, the heat transfer rate. So it is a GATE 2016 2-mark question. Okay, so let's try to see how to find out this. So this is a very straightforward question. There are two surfaces having a temperature maybe 1000 Kelvin, another is 400 Kelvin, and emissivity values are given as 0.5 and 0.25. So whatever may be the gap, that does not have much relevance. Okay, now we we already know what is the heat transfer rate between two infinite parallel. That is the meaning of infinite large parallel plates. So we already know sigma into t1 to the power 4 minus t2 to the power 4 divided by 1 by epsilon 1 plus 1 by epsilon 2 minus 1. This is a common equation. So all these things are directly given. What is the value of sigma? Sigma is 5678. Don't remember, don't forget. Okay, so 5.67 into 10 to the power minus 8. So 5.67 into 10 to the power minus 8 into t value. And whenever we are dealing in radiation heat transfer, always convert the temperature into Kelvin scale. If it is given in degree Celsius, please convert into Kelvin scale by adding 273. Okay, now here it is. We are a little bit, this today's lecture is a bit lengthy because I wanted to conclude everything in the single lecture. So if you are finding it is boring, or if you are finding lack of interest, just pause here and come back again and try to solve. But don't ignore this topic just because today's lecture was a bit lengthy. Okay, I am really sorry for this lengthy lecture because I was planning to complete this lecture in 5 lectures, but I thought of completing in a single lecture so that you can you will be in line with the discussion. Okay, so divided by 1 by 0.5 plus 1 by 0.25 minus 1. So this was a straightforward. Once you know this much, you can do the calculation, and rest of the things are much more easy. Once you do the calculation, you will end up with an answer on 11.049 kilowatt per meter. Okay guys, remember here the question was asked in kilowatt. So students often make mistakes by ignoring the unit. So in GATE, I again and again am telling you, for GATE exam it is not only always your technical knowledge. Sometimes they are checking your how much your presence of mind. Okay, so this was a pitfall in this question. Normally students will get some other answer. Suppose the answer will be 11.4.9 watt per meter square. So in this case students will be just putting this value, so you will not get any mark. You are losing very important 2 mark just because of your ignorance. So I hope such kind of things will not happen in your case. Be careful. So how to overcome this kind of problem? This is only possible by solving as many problems, because if you make a mistake 2 or 3 times, then next time you will remember this thing. So let's try to fail and learn, try to learn from our failures. Okay, so try to make mistakes and let's try to grow. So this is the answer. In this case it is 11.09 kilowatt per meter square. Okay, not this one, this is watt per meter square, unit is different. Now let's try to solve. I will try to move a little faster so that we can uh, reduce the lecture length. Now this is a question which is also having the similar scenario. uh, so just try to find out a 0.2 mm thickness infinite black plate having a thermal conductivity दिया गया है to infinite black surface temperature 300 400 at steady state. Wow, steady state the surface temperature of the plate facing the cold side. What is the cold side? So here you can just imagine under this scenario, here it is vacuum, here it is vacuum, there is a solid having some thermal conductivity. So what will be the direction of heat transfer flow? It will be from high temperature to low temperature. So this is 400, so this will be some higher value which is less than 400, but this is the temperature side, cold side of this plate. That plate will have two temperature on both surface, right? The side which is facing towards the high temperature will be of high temperature, like higher value, right? So here you can see this is the surface and this value was given as 350 Kelvin. So that was the main pitfall. Here also 2 mark question, and the main twist in this question was ignoring this side, whether it is this side or this side. So here this was on the farther side from the hot body, because it was talking about the temperature facing the cold side is 350. Now if you know this much, it is talking about the steady state heat transfer. Steady state heat transfer is that whatever q is leaving the surface 1 will be reaching here again, q will be reaching here again, q will be reaching here again, q. So basically the whatever heat transfer taking place from any surface will serve the answer. That means if you know the temperature of this surface, if I am saying T, then if you calculate q will be equal to what? Sigma into 400 to the power 4 minus T to the power 4 into area. Okay, here it is asked heat flux, that is area also you can ignore. So this will be the expression. So I can write I don't know what is the temperature T, and I am not even bothered to calculate that temperature. I am directly going to find out the heat transfer any area, any portion. So I am just considering the heat transfer within this area, because I already know what is this temperature here, what is this temperature here. So I can say Q by A, that is the heat flux in the under this scenario, will be sigma into uh, T is 350 to the power 4 minus 300 to the power 4. So 5.67 into 10 to the power minus 8 into 350 to the power 4 minus 300 to the power 4. Once you do this calculation, you are getting 3.9612 watt per meter square. So this is a right answer for a numerical type question in the GATE 2016. So we just use the simple equation, but you should be careful how we were approaching toward this question. Now let's try to solve another question which is also a similar question in the GATE 1993, which was when I was, yeah. So अभी देखो ये क्वेश्चन कैसे सोल्व करेगा, ये कैसे करेगा भाई. A radiative heat transfer put per unit area between two plain parallel gray surface. Oh, सब दिया गया है Q12 per area equal to sigma into T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4 divided by 1 by epsilon 1 plus 1 by epsilon 2 plus minus 1. This was a general equation, and guys, such kind of question may not be asking in the upcoming gate because this was maybe long years back, around 20-30 years before. Okay, so you cannot expect such kind of direct question on the gate, but you should have the basic understanding. So here temperature is 5.67 into 10 to the power minus 8, 400. ये सुनो भाई, क्या आंसर क्या मिलेगा? 400 to the power 4 minus 1 by epsilon 1 is 0.9 plus 1 by 0.9 minus 1. So if you do this calculation, I am just referring to my sources. So you will get 812 watt per meter square. So this is a answer for this question. So let's move on to the next question. This is quite an interesting question. So everybody please read the question. I am also trying to solve. An infinite long furnace, okay, जिसका साइज दिया गया है 5x4, ठीक है, और ऑल सरफेस ऑफ द ब्लैक, मतलब क्या है, emissivity equal to 1, there is no any other meaning, or absorptivity also equal to 1. The top and bottom are also having the temperature 9 to 7 degree Celsius. इसका भी टेम्परेचर T1 कितना गया है, 9 to 7 डिग्री सेल्सियस, और T2 T4 ये कितना गया 5 to 7 degree Celsius. So I can say T1 equal to T3 equal to 927 plus 273, ये कितना आएगा 1200 Kelvin. T2 T4 527 plus 273, ये कितना आएगा 800 Kelvin. Now the question is the view factor F12 is equal to 0.26. The net radiation on side 1 Q net side 1, that is a question. So this is a very, see, in GATE 2016 2-mark question. So that is what I am saying. Directly nothing will be asked, but the equation, the concept, everything is same. So here, what are the like you have been asked to find out what is the net heat transfer between the surface 1. What will be the radiation heat transfer taking place surface 1, 2, 3, and all. So just tell me what will be the net heat transfer. Let me see how to do. So if F12 is given, and we have to find out F11 plus F12 plus F13 plus F14. So that was from summation rule, you can say it will be equal to 1. What will be the F11? F11 by default equal to 0 because it is a infinite plane surface. So it is a plane surface. मतलब whatever, just imagine whatever radiation leaving the surface 1 will not come back to will not come back on the same surface, right? That we have discussed in the previous class. F12 and F13, F12 and F13 will be equal to what? Same, because this is by geometric symmetry. You can see whatever radiation leaving 1 and hitting 2 will be same as radiation leaving 1 and hitting 3. So here it is 0.26, 0.26. So F14 equal to 1 minus 2 times 0.26. So 26 into 52 minus 1 equal to 0.48. Okay. Now the question is Q by 1. Q1 will be the net heat transfer from the surface number 1 will be equal to what? Q12, the net interaction between 1 and 2, plus Q13 plus Q14. Am I correct? But here temperature of T1 and T3 are same. T1 and T3 are same. So there will not be any heat interaction between the same similar temperature, right? If दोनों का same temperature है तो there will not be any heat interaction. Heat transfer का first and foremost the rule is that there should be a temperature difference. Okay. Now you can say this will be equal to 0. Now Q12 and Q14, that also by geometry, Q12 whatever heat interaction between the surface 2 and 1, and 1 and 4 also will be the same thing, right? So you can see 2 times Q12. So what will be Q12 is equal to 2 times sigma F12 T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4. So here you can see, oh sorry, here Q12 plus Q1, ये ऐसा नहीं आएगा, my mistake, sorry. So मेरा मिस्टेक क्या था, Q12 प्लस Q12 और Q14 सेम नहीं आएगा ना, क्योंकि उसका व्यू फैक्टर अलग है. अरे इसमें तो दिया गया था, राइट? सॉरी पूरा गलत कर दिया. मिस्टेक क्या था है कि यहाँ पे मैंने मिस्टेक कर दिया. सॉरी गाइस. F13 will not be equal to geometry. मेरा अरे लास्ट क्लास में ही मिस्टेक कर दिया, अच्छा नहीं लग रहा, सॉरी. ठीक है, कोई नहीं, मिस्टेक तो होगा. F14 और F12 will be same, right? मतलब ये मैं 3 मान के गया था, लेकिन ये 4 है. 2 और 4 के बीच में सेम रहेगा. So F13, I was just calculating F13, which was coming out to be 4.48, even though it was not having any relevance. मतलब F13 कितना भी हो, यहाँ पे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, क्योंकि between 1 and 3, if whatever heat is leaving 1 and hitting on 3, the same amount will be leaving 3 and hitting on 1. So it will be balanced. Now I am just to calculate Q12 and Q14. So we already know what is F12 and F14, both are same because of the geometrical similarity. So 2 times 5.67 into 10 to the power minus 8. F12 is 0.26 into T1 and T2. T1 is, always remember to convert into Kelvin scale. So this is answer. If you just do this calculator, let me try myself. If I am doing this calculation, you will end up with an answer 2453688 watt per meter. Okay, you just try yourself and just let me know whether you are getting the same answer or not. So this is all about question number 83. Let's move on to the next question. So थोड़ा लंबा जा रहा है, लेकिन please sorry for that, because once if I cannot complete in this lecture, like if you are feeling bored or if you are feeling distracted, take a break and come back and solve yourself. Okay, that is the benefit of online or uploaded classes in the YouTube. And also you can watch this video with a higher pace, maybe into 2 or 1.5 speed, so that you can save your time. These all are, you, I need not to recommend you, you can practice by yourself. So anyway, let's try to solve this question. Yes, question number 84. Two large parallel gray plate with a small gap exchange radiation at the rate of 1000 watt per meter square. So matlab there were two surfaces, emissivity was 0.5, 0.5, and they were exchanging. Suppose this is T1, this is T2, then you can say Q12. Q12 will be sigma into T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4 divided by 1 by epsilon 1 plus 1 by epsilon 2 minus 1. So under this scenario, sigma into T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4 divided by 1 by 0.5 plus 1 by 0.5 minus 1, which was coming out to be 1000. Okay, so the question is when their emissivity is changed to 0.25. That means in under this scenario, what I am doing, I am just putting some covering. I am just trying to use some material to reduce the emissivity into 0.25. So what is that thing? So under this scenario, Q12 will be the same thing, sigma into T1 minus uh, T2 to the power 4 1 by epsilon 1 plus 1 by epsilon 2 minus 1. So under this scenario, you can say sigma into T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4 divided by 1 by 0.5 plus 1 by 0.25 minus 1. So from this you can see, if I move this way, sigma like Q12, I can say Q12 will be equal to 1000 times 1 by 0.5 plus 1 by 0.5 minus 1. Now it is pure mathematics. 1 by 0.5 plus 1 by 0.25 minus 1. So what is coming out to be, if you do the calculation, it is coming out to be 600 watt per meter square. That is option number Bombay. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So 85, a plate having, we are left with I think one more question. This will be the second last question. So let's try to solve it, guys. Okay, so सब ठीक होगा शायद. ठीक है. Again and again, take care of your mental health, physical health, keep a balanced diet, and also have enough, don't forget to drink enough water, and also don't forget to sleep whatever adequate time required. Okay, anyway, let's try to solve this question. A plate having 10 centimeters area hanging in the middle of a room. That means there is a room and there is a plate. Plate having, इसका जो एरिया मान लो A1, इसका जो एरिया होगा A2, surface this is 1 and 2, so A1 A2. Now the question having the plate temperature and emissivity are respectively, that is this is 800 and emissivity is 0.6 and इसका जो है इसका है 300 Kelvin and emissivity 0.3. The total heat loss from the two surface. That means ये क्वेश्चन क्या पूछा गया है कि इसमें हायर टेम्परेचर किसका है, जो प्लेट का है, मतलब एक रूम के अंदर एक लगाया हुआ है, तो उसी से जो रेडिएट हो जाएगा उसको जो हीट ट्रांसफर रेट कितना है. ठीक है. सो इट इज ऑल्सो जस्ट लाइक two surfaces having some finite area A1 and A2. Now let's see what are the value here. So A1 you should be take care because it is a plate, so it will have two surfaces, radiation from two surfaces. Okay, so the total area A1 will be 2 times into 10 centimeter square. So you can see 20 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. Similarly, A2 is already given, it is 100 meter square. Rest of the things are same. So Q net 1 to 2 equal to sigma into T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4 divided by 1 by epsilon 1 plus 1 by epsilon 2 minus 1. So if I am 5.67 10 to the power minus 8, temperature कितना है 800 to the power 4 minus 300 to the power 4 divided by 1 by epsilon 1. epsilon 1 कितना है, बोलिए 0.6 plus 1 by epsilon 2. सॉरी ये इक्वेशन नहीं जाएगा यहाँ पे, वी हैव टू यूज जो नॉर्मल इक्वेशन है, दिस 1 by A1 epsilon 1 A2 epsilon 2 divided by A2. This is we have already discussed in the previous place. So it will be so anybody got the right answer? Yes, मैं थोड़ा धीरे धीरे चल रहा हूँ, मतलब मेरा थोड़ा स्लो हो रहा है। ठीक है ठीक है, 1.6 इंटू A1 कितना आ गया, 20 इंटू 10⁻⁻4, 10 यस, प्लस 1/A2 कितना है, 100 इंटू MCT कितना है, 0.3 माइनस 1/100. So this is pure mathematics. If you do this calculation, you will end up with a 27.32 watt. This is not even flux, it is directly whatever heat transfer. So the answer is 27.32. This question could have asked in the multiple choice question also, but it was numerical type question. In 2003 it was asked for 2 mark. Okay, now another question from the radiation shield. So here the question is, let me see. So पढ़िए, क्वेश्चन पढ़िए, जस्ट रीड द क्वेश्चन। आईईएस 1992 और 2004 दोबारा टू टाइम्स पूछा गया है, ठीक है। सो गेट में ऐसा क्वेश्चन बहुत चांसेस है, मतलब 1 मार्क के लिए देर इज ए हाई चांस सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन। Anyway, two long parallel surfaces having emissivity maintained at a different temperature are accordingly have the radiation heat exchange between them. वो तो होगा। It is decided to reduce 75% of this radiation heat transfer by inserting thin shield, okay, of having emissivity 0.7, मतलब सबका emissivity same है, ठीक है। So what would be the number of shield? So पूछा गया है Q with shield, अगर इफ Q विथ शील्ड इज सो Q विदाउट शील्ड मान लो अगर यहाँ पे 100 और 100 और है 100, इफ Q विदाउट शील्ड इज 100, we have to reduce 75% ऑफ इट, मतलब Q विथ शील्ड कितना होगा, तो Q विदाउट शील्ड 100 है, तो Q with the shield. By introducing a shield, how much should be the radiation heat transfer? 75% should be reduced. That means it will be 25. So if I am just taking the ratio Q with the shield by Q without the shield, that will be Q with the shield is 25 divided by 100 should be equal to, we have already decided, we have already calculated, this should be equal to 1 by n plus 1. So here in this scenario you can see n by 1 by n plus 1 equal to 25 by 100, 1 by 4. So n plus 1 equal to 4. So n equal to 3. So by introducing 3 shield within this scenario, whatever may be the emissivity, whatever may be the other parameter, by introducing thin surface radiation shield of same emissivity, it will reduce 75% of the radiation heat transfer. That is the relevance of radiation shield. Okay, let's discuss the final question for today. So I know it was quite lengthy, so but I hope I have already told you what you have to do. If you are feeling bored, please stop here and take a break and come back and complete the video. So for two long parallel plates, same emissivity at a different temperature and having radiation heat exchange between them. Radiation shield of emissivity. In the previous case, we have been told of the same, like in the last question, it was of having the equal emissivity. Okay, but here we are talking about a radiation shield with a different emissivity. So how to approach this question? Okay, so let's try to figure out what is the scenario. Two parallel plates, emissivity 0.5, 0.5, having temperature T1, T2, having radiation exchange between them. The radiation shield of emissivity is 0.5. So Q without shield What is the Q without a shield? We already know sigma into T1 to the power 4 minus T to the power 4 divided by 1 by epsilon 1 plus 1 by epsilon 2 minus 1. So if I am just substituting this sigma into T1 to the power 4 minus T to the power 4 divided by 1 by 0.5 plus 1 by 0.5 minus 1. So what is this value is coming out to be? 1 by 0.52 2 plus 2 plus 3 minus, okay, sigma into t1 to the power 4 minus t2 to the power 4 divided by 3, okay, 2 plus minus 1, so 4 minus 1 equal to 3. Now it is telling by introducing another, this is my radiation shield having emissivity 0.25. So we know what is the expression for this scenario. Q with shield. For a single shield, we have already deduced that expression. I am directly using that expression. That will be coming out to be 1 by epsilon 1 plus 2 by epsilon 3 plus 1 by epsilon 2 minus 2. So in this scenario, it will be sigma into T1 to the power 4, T2 to the power 4 divided by 1 by 0.5 plus 2 by 0.25 plus 1 by 0.5 minus 2. So if I am sigma into T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4 divided by, it will be 1 by 0.5 is 2, 2 plus 2, 8, you can say 2 plus 8 plus 2 minus 2. So it was coming out to be Q without shield divided by 10. So if I am just taking this ratio, your answer will be 3 divided by 10. Okay, so that was all about today's lecture. And again, I wanted to remind you, this was our last lecture in the radiation part. I will be sharing the PPT with you in the Telegram channel. So please go through the questions. Till now I have almost 80 questions we have covered in the conduction and radiation part. If I compare the whole syllabus, it is a handful number, but that is not enough. I have tried to include all the possible questions, all the similar types of question, but that is not enough. I my intention of taking this course or taking this session was to give you a brief idea or basic foundation for learning. Okay, so I hope it was beneficial to everyone. Please share your opinion on the comment section. Please share with your friends and other people in the batchmate. And I will be coming up with you with some other interactive session for live session or doubt clearing session as well as a quiz session in the upcoming days. Till then, have a nice day. I wish all the very best to everyone. Please keep in touch and have a nice day. Thank you.